Hey everybody, my name is Ryan and this is Garage Props, and this is part two in a series about how to mold and how to resin cast pieces so that you don't have to sit in front of a metal mill and make multiple pieces for items. This is an aluminum billet for a Arkham Asylum batarang. Each batarang needs two pieces. They kind of sit like this on each piece. They're awesome, but each one needs two pieces, and so I found that resin casting these babies makes it go a lot faster. So I'm going to show you how to take those silicone molds that we made in the last piece, and I'm going to show you how to resin cast those. So you're going to need a product that is like this. You have an A and B part of an Alumilite low viscosity, super light liquid casting plastic. Okay, this is a gallon kit that they sell. Obviously, this is 2 gallons or 2 half gallons, but when you mix them together, you get a full gallon. I've had this kit for about at least a year, and it just lasts forever when you're making little parts. If you're making big things, it's going to take it up really fast. But anyway, it costs about $150. They ship it right to your house. Super cool. I've gone through probably about 4 or 5 of these kits as I've made parts for Ghostbusters and steampunk embellishments and whatnot. So what are you going to need? You're going to need the resin, you're going to need a cup, you're going to need a stir stick, you're going to need your scale, and then of course you're going to need your glove and you're going to need your mask. So the silicone is 10 parts to 1, and this is 1 to 1. So that means if you pour half a cup of black resin, you have to pour half a cup of the yellow resin. Actually, this is the resin, this is the activator, and the stuff I have is black, so it's already dyed. So what do? You get your scale and you turn your scale on again, and then you set your cup, once it's cleared out, on top of it. You set it to kilograms, and then you press the 0 button. Now it takes into account the weight of your cup. So I've shaken these up already. I don't need to do it again. It adds extra air bubbles. But you're going to want to shake it, especially if it's been sitting in the garage like it has for me. And then you're going to pour it. And I like to get it to a nice round number, so I'm going to get it up to probably about 30 kilograms. That should be enough. And then I always like to wipe the top with the paper towel so that it doesn't dribble. This black stuff is nasty. It will stain whatever it touches, so be really careful with it. Okay, so since I put in 0.031 kilograms the first time, now I'm going to put in another 0.031. So my number on my scale is going to be 0.062. So I'm just doubling it. This stuff doesn't stain as much as it's just nasty. Oh, now that I'm going to be stirring it, I'm going to be wearing my mask. Mask fail. Okay, so I'm not going to be wearing my mask, but you should wear a mask. Don't do what I'm doing here. So you're going to stir this up, and what happens is the two liquids activate once they're mixed together. It's just like a resin glue. And what that ends up doing is creating heat, and in about 10 minutes we'll have solid pieces of resin. So you take your 2 molds, you try and get them on a piece as level as possible. I didn't take that effort before, and that was a big mistake, but I'm planning on sanding these down so that they're flat on the backside. Now you can feel through the cup that this resin is already getting hot. We're in a real hot season right now where I live. It's going to be 100 degrees today. It's only 9:30 and it's already up in the high 80s. So you have to work kind of fast when the weather is warm because the atmospheric temperature as well as the heat of the chemical reaction will make it set a lot faster. It's already starting to get chunky here. Okay, and the reason you don't want it to get too chunky is because then it's hard to get it to capture the details. I mean, look at that. See that? I mean, this stuff is already set, so it could have something to do maybe with the fact that this resin's getting a little bit older. So we'll have to see how those turn out. So I'm going to take a break, let this stuff set up, and I'll see you in just a minute. Okay, so only a few minutes has passed, and this stuff is already rock hard. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to pop this out and show you what it looks like. This one didn't cast very well because this part didn't catch the detail. That's because it was too hard as I was pouring it in. When you're breaking things out of a mold, you just very carefully pull the sides apart, and then you pop it out. This one had an air bubble in it. Okay, so I poured it too fast. It's because it was hardening up too quickly. So I'm going to have to do these again because I don't want to, for the individual that bought these, I don't want them to feel like they got ripped off because these are got air bubbles in them. But in a nutshell, that's kind of how you go about doing everything. The more volume of resin that you use, the faster it's going to set because there's a higher temperature, and that's how this stuff works. So anyway, that's how you cast basically small pieces. If you have any questions for me, my email is garageprops@gmail.com. If you have any questions about ordering my batarangs, I mean, see, that's going to look so cool. If you have any questions about that, kick me an email, and aside from that, thanks. Be safe. You can't prop if you're dead.